Joe.
Testing,
Here we are recording.
Mine's not. Testing, 1, 2, testing. Mine's not allowed, I think. I can hear an echo.
okay, well.
I'm told as long as I have my microphone on, nobody has a problem.
Beat me up, Scotty.
You have to turn it down a little bit there.
Yeah.
We can turn it on.
There you go. Go ahead and talk.
No, that's not gonna work.
Something's wrong. Okay, can somebody talk now?
Testing, 1, 2, testing, 1, 2. Testing.
That's at the lowest level. I can't even bring it up. Turn that, oh no, let me turn it. So you can talk.
Yeah, maybe that's the problem.
Testing, 1, 2.
I'm not sure.
A little better.
I can only go up one more. I can't do anything.
That's all right.
That one.
What about over here?
No.
That's better.
Can somebody talk?
Testing, 1, 2, testing.
Is he coming across?
Hello?
Testing, 1, 2, testing.
Hello?
Can you hear it? Can you hear
Is that
him?
good, Joe?
I couldn't hear him at all.
Are we on? Yeah, Joe says it's all.
It's,
Give her a little bit more on the red one up, that's the main. Testing, 1, 2, testing.
There you go.
There you go. All right. Are we ready?
Yep.
Gentlemen?
Yep.
Town of Vernon Board of Supervisors meeting for January 18th, 2016 at 6 p.m. It's now 6:03. Call to order. All rise to the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Chairman Thomas Byrd.
Present.
Supervisor Jeff Millies.
Present.
Supervisor Gary Wildy.
Present.
Supervisor Ed Moline.
Present.
Supervisor Bill Craig.
Present.
Mr. Chairman, you do have a quorum of your board, and DPW Director John Henneberry is here also.
Open meetings compliance.
The agenda was posted inside and outside the Vernon Town Hall, to the media, to other businesses within the Town of Vernon, and the Town of Vernon website as a courtesy or in full compliance with the open meetings law.
There may be a possible closed session. I'm going to read the closed session, a motion to go into closed session, consideration of possible action on a motion to convene into executive session. Under Wisconsin Stat 19.85, Trend 1, Trend E, deliberating and negotiating the purchase of public properties, investing in public funds, or conducting other specified public business whenever competitive or bargaining reasons require closed sessions, more specifically negotiations for a board agreement with the Village of Waukesha and cooperative board agreements with communities bordering Town of Vernon. Including the closed session will be Town of Vernon Supervisors, DPW Director, and Town Clerk. When it comes that time, that motion will require a roll call vote. All right, public comments, number 8, or number 7, public comments. Any public comments? Any public comments? The record show there are no public comments. Item 8, miscellaneous matters. Following matters will be discussed and possible action taken by the town board unless otherwise noted. Item A, abatement services of the Town of Vernon Activity Center. We got this before Christmas, these bids. John, you have any comments on any of these?
No, I just, I believe some of these are probably a little more thorough than the other one's gonna be, just by talking with these people. The first, like I said, the first bid that I got, first guy I looked at it, he tried to tell me we didn't even need an inspection, but obviously, I think being a public building, this is very important to have. So, it's up to you guys. If you guys wanna go ahead and do it, you know, go through with it, then, pretty much choose which one you wanna use here.
Is one of them is $1,645 and the other is $600? That's just to go into the building and check it out to see, so we have $1,000 difference between that.
Yes, they
two
will
bids.
take samples of pretty much, that one sheet shows you all the samples, that they, things that they will take samples of and can.
Okay.
There's quite a few things in there. Like I said, I think they're a little more thorough, that company, when I was talking with them. Then hence, I think the reason for the, quite a bit of difference in the price there.
Yeah.
I think there was just the
This
first.
one gave, I'm sorry,
No, go ahead, bro.
this one gave a listing of what the different testings were gonna cost.
Yeah.
This one didn't say anything about it, so
Right.
are they gonna come through with something saying what the roll-up cost might be depending on this testing?
What they got here is, you just, you know,
This can get pretty expensive over here.
Well,
well, yeah, but he's got it in there for, you know, his costs. I think those are just examples of all the tests that they do perform. I mean, it's his quote is, I think, pretty much covers everything that they need to do, I believe. So this other guy, you know, I don't know, he comes up with says not to exceed the $600 mark.
Didn't seem quite as,
I just not as thorough. I just believe that he's just kind of doing the main basic few things, and this other, just talking with this other company, they were very thorough, testing everything. I mean, from the caulk to the windows, to the paint, to the drywall, the plaster, the, you know, I mean, I don't, maybe you don't, you know, if you don't believe that needs to be that technical, but I think that's the right way to go about it. If you're
John, the
gonna,
one said something about it be our responsibility to find a dump site to get rid of the materials. The other one didn't say anything about it, you know?
no, I didn't know anything about
Right.
that.
Read that right or did I read that wrong?
No, the one is, said he was.
Building owner operator remains responsible for submitting any notifications for renovation, demolition work, or asbestos removal, so we gotta give,
Well, that would be,
notification for it to somebody. And I thought somewhere I read that we were responsible to find a site that
That
would
would-
take the material. Is
that would be
correct?
up to whoever would come in and give a bid to do the actual demolition. This is just bids just to get the inspection done.
Right.
Nobody can give you a bid for demolition until they have an inspection report, so they know what they're dealing with.
Okay, I'm
So-
jumping.
And then it would be up to them to find a place for
Good.
it, typically, so.
So how does this one company give you the bid and then another bid for removal not to exceed $4,000? I mean,
That was just for the siding,
okay, it's just for the siding?
yes.
Wow.
So,
I think they're a little premature on that.
yeah, I do too.
Kind of
That's-
confused, like, how
Because they don't know.
Yeah, he's got it in there just for the, transite siding. So, like I said, there's multiple other things in it that could very well end up being, any one of those materials, the plaster, like I said, all that, the
Yeah.
flooring, tile, the flooring is most likely. Some of it, they say it's, you know, it doesn't have to be, as long as it's still, if it's getting demolition, and it's still, like say the tile is still connected to the floorboards as you're throwing it out, they can let that go. So, there's different levels, I guess. So,
Are we really required, John, to test for anything other than asbestos, lead paint? And, what's the other one I'm trying to think of? In answer to Ed's question here, that guy provided a multi-long list. But to my knowledge, we're not even required to do anything other than the items we're looking at here, the three major things, correct?
I believe so, but I think the list is what they what they offer. It's not what they're going to need to do.
Right.
I didn't toll it to see if it came out to what their quote was.
The other confusing part is, I see no detail about lead paint on any of these.
No,
I read all of them over. So how are we addressing the lead paint issue?
the lead paint, as far as I know, they never even brought that up. It was just worried about, just the asbestos.
That's
That's all they mentioned, so.
Because you know, today you can't even replace a window.
No, without our payment.
Oh, right, that's what I'm saying, it's like, the caulk and everything is
Another thing
We
you
didn't
didn't
ask for that, we asked for asbestos
yeah.
abatement. And this is a
That's
bid,
specifically what we asked for.
right.
But they didn't mention tile. And we got some tile on there, don't we?
Yeah,
When
well,
I
like I
had
said,
tile removed from my basement, I had to get it inspected to make sure it didn't have asbestos in it.
mhm,
I got lucky. But, some of the older stuff does contain it.
right, like I
They
said,
didn't say anything about that.
basically, that's included in all these samples that
It would be.
they were gonna take, yeah. They're gonna take samples from the
Ceiling,
the
all
ceiling, the flooring, drywall in the garage, the vermiculite insulation. So, yeah, and I mean, it's quite
Well,
a
they're
bit.
all licensed,
Yeah, yeah.
and they're
It's
all
liability
the
on them.
same, they've gotta do what the state says they have to do. Okay. As far as the one company for me, in construction over the years I've had to deal with, when you get into a situation where a school or a nursing home or a hospital, absolutely, you gotta test everything. This is an outbuilding that is probably, the mold is the worst thing over it than
What about Vernon?
the asbestos. They all have to deal with the state standards, and all we're looking for is a price
For asbestos.
to get it removed, and what is and what isn't. So, and I think asbestos is one of the biggest overkill things that has ever come around.
And that's the problem, comparing apples with apples.
Yeah, we don't have it.
You know, you read it over and you read it over, you can't compare A to B to C.
I agree.
So I don't know any more now where we're at otherwise than when we started this.
I would think the lower price one from cars,
Yeah.
to give us an idea what it is, and then we can move ahead and we can
Not to
get some
exceed-
prices on it for removal.
$600.
We can still give this company
The business.
It's a fun job.
to remove it, to get a price for removal,
Yeah. What we're looking
but
at.
I really think this one is overkill.
Yep. No, it's just $600. But not to exceed $600 is to do the testing, so personally.
At least then we know what we're dealing with. you know.
As long as it has no bounds, because the company can spend more on removal on it.
It's a possibility. Get their foot in the door, do the job.
Now, this other company, they hire out the actual demolition part too. I mean, it's not, they don't do the
They
demolition.
sub them?
Pardon me?
They subcontract?
Well, they work together with another company.
And what you'll
Yeah,
find
you pay
out
double.
is that the people that are doing the actual work will have a hard time communicating with them.
You ready for a motion?
Yeah.
Yep.
I'll make a motion to go with, how do you say it, PARS, P-A-R-S-S?
Parse,
Parse.
something like that? Yeah.
With, cost not to exceed $600 to do the testing labor bulk samples, point count analysis, inspection fees.
I'll second that.
Any more discussion?
Part of the motion, John wanted us to, indicate whether legal review of the contract is needed for, I don't think it is at this time personally.
Well,
Like you just said,
When we
we have to follow state law.
when we get their contract,
That's different.
we'll take a look at it, and then we can put it as an agenda item. If we need legal review, we can do that.
Oh, yeah, John.
They have a state DNR rep that they have to deal with to get the permit, so, and they all know the same guy. So they're all answering to the same
Agency.
office, basically, so, yeah, they're gonna know what they need to
Right.
turn in,
Okay.
you know, so. I mean, all the ones I've talked to all mention the same guy's name from the DNR that they have to answer to.
So you call and get a contract then? That's where we're at now.
For the $600.
That guy was retiring at the end of the year, and he says, I'll let him know that I had this out here for you guys. I said, because I told him probably wasn't gonna happen until after the first of the year. So, he says, I'll try and honor that price. He said, I'll let him know what's going on, but he was gonna be retiring as of the first of the year. So I might be dealing with a different person than the guy that actually wrote this up.
Well,
So,
tell them just do a few less tests then.
that's fine too.
Mr. Chairman, did Supervisor Moline authorize you to sign the agreement?
I was just gonna recommend them to do that. You're gonna have to put also in that.
Authorize the
motion,
town chair?
Authorize the chair to sign that.
Yeah.
Is that in your motion, Supervisor
I'll
Moline?
make a friendly amendment to authorize the chair to sign the contract based on your judgment of whether it's gotta go to the attorney or not, okay?
And this is only asbestos. Nothing-
Just for the
Now, what
inspection.
about their $4,185?
We're not there.
We're just ignoring that for now. Because
That's,
I'm wondering how they can give us a $600 bid for inspecting and then give us a price to remove it all. before
That
we
was just
inspect it.
just for the siding, because they know the siding's already asbestos. So it was just, the rest of the inside work was gonna be what they're gonna be taking samples of. So yeah, if you wanna absolutely hold off on the removal of the siding for now, just for, get the report, the inspection, that would be a good start. I mean, we have to do that before we can do anything.
Right.
Taking steps.
All right, it's been moved and seconded. Any more discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Item B, Resolution 2018-2. A resolution to approve 2018 wages and salary for the Vernon Fire Department employees. All right, I just had, this out here. We've got a red letter, and then you've got a clean copy here. So this is a resolution, so in the motion, I would wish that there would also be that the chairman signs, or that the town board signs.
This requires the whole town board to do resolution,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, this is in a contract.
Yeah, these stipends seem like a significant amount of increase. I think the guys should really be happy with that.
and he raised some of these significantly.
That's where they need the help the most? That's where they need the help the most?
Yeah, no, that's fine. I don't have a problem with it.
With all the back and forth on the stipends, Are you clear wage-wise when you're doing this stuff now?
And it's already in payroll.
Okay, so Pat, you were on sync as far as what we're doing here?
Yeah, where he had an issue was, he said, it was when it was implemented, and that's why
Oh,
on
not the charge, okay.
the last board meeting, you approved all the other wages, and I said this one was coming,
Yep.
and,
Yeah, I saw that last email and I wasn't sure what he was referring to
Yeah.
there.
Pretty healthy chunk.
but there was no increases, just, so you know, in the individual salaries and the POS and POPs. The other ones you can see, there were several that didn't increase, but the areas where he's having the most trouble, when they're competing.
I'll make a motion to, have the town board sign resolution 2018-02.
I'll second
It's been moved and seconded to sign resolution 18-02. Any more discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Item C, resolution 1803, a resolution amending the 2018 adopted budget. Now, we've got a cleaned copy here. This here is to amend the budget for the,
Insurance?
Yeah.
for the $7,500 for the health insurance, for the health savings account for employees.
With no questions, I'll move to accept resolution 2018-03 to amend the 2018 adopted budget of the town of Vernon for medical payments.
I'll second.
Any more discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Ordinance 2018-01, an ordinance to rezone properties located on Enterprise Drive and Enterprise Business Park. I'm gonna read what the attorney says here. He says, "This is a policy decision. I have approved the form of the same. I am hopeful that we have had the county also approve the wording. If the county has not approved the wording, by the time of the meeting, the town board may decide to table the matter until we hear from the county." Now, Karen was talking to me before the meeting about, Mr. Booth. You wanna,
I did send this to Jason Fruth, the Director of Waukesha Park and Planning, and he indicated that they're super, super busy. He did send an email today, said he would get to it within 2 days, so his review should be done, so you could table this comfortably to the next board meeting, and you'd have a clean ordinance that'll go through the obviously went through the town and the county with no problems.
right, if you wanna wait, we can wait, or we've got staff that we can handle some of this stuff in staff. I just don't feel comfortable with approving something that we haven't read coming back from the county.
They may have.
You know, we can
some
approve
changes.
it with the changes, I just don't wanna work that way with the county. The
Right.
county needs to have faith in us that we're gonna wait for them, and then we're gonna do what we need to do the right way.
And I had another reason to hold off that I'd like to talk about at staff. Spoke with Karen about it, we're confused, so I think, we need to clarify some things before we go ahead with this.
That's fine.
Okay.
Should we hold on to this then? That we'll,
Table this to staff?
table this and hold on to this ordinance for the time
You
being?
you can if you want to, but if, no matter what the county does, if there is any changes, I just wanted you to know that there was a tremendous amount of research that went into this, and the ordinance that you see is what the town sent to them in 2014, and that's where the confusion came in, so it mirrors 2014 and takes all the county out of the approval process.
Okay.
But it leaves the county in as far as the actual final zoning enrolled ordinance goes into effect.
All right.
So,
I have a specific question I'm confused about. Should I let that sit till staff meeting too?
Yeah, this'll make sure that this gets on the staff.
I will do that. We have a lot of zoning questions for staff.
Karen answered part of it earlier, but I got another one now.
She's got a rebuttal.
Rebuttal?
I have a lot of questions.
Did you? Yeah, when we put the agenda out, we had thought that the county would be done with that, but they're not, so I don't feel comfortable with approving something that we haven't seen the language on. Coming back from the county for that, for my own personal, and the second thing, I don't think that shows good faith that we approve something and before the county has a chance to
Yeah,
look at
they
it.
might take,
I don't wanna go down that road with
Yeah.
the county.
because we're gonna have to deal with them again.
Yes, exactly. So I'm gonna make a motion to the table.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Approval of Menard's authorized user forms of the Town of Vernon DPW Director. This is pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
We just have a credit card policy that everybody knows.
Is this just an update of the
The
rest of
recipe.
people?
Just a renewal.
You took Brian off and,
Yeah.
and put Casey and Tyler on. Okay,
And me.
and you. Yeah.
And that's so
You,
that they can.
weren't you on before?
So if we
I
get
was
too
on
busy,
before.
we can send Karen to get
Yeah.
some building supplies.
He's better out with one of the
Get the
trucks.
plywood and the cement.
Pick out some good lumber.
Do we need a motion?
Yes, it would be a motion to authorize the town chairman to approve the Menards agreement and to sign it.
Now make a motion to approve the town chairman's signature on the approval of the change personnel for the signature of the cards at Menards.
I'll second it.
Any more discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Develop and filling the municipal separate storm system, MS4. Madam Clerk, you want to take this one?
Yes, I attended two webinars in regards to the MS4 permitting process. And as you've seen in the past, they're pretty comprehensive reports. Earlier this year, I gave John all the information I'm going to need from the DPW department, and John and I and Doug previously always worked on that permit together. And my request would be that you allow me to attempt to fill in that permit for you. If I would have trouble, I'll come back to you, but as far as I'm concerned, I don't think you need an engineer, and the DNR has made significant changes in regards to the permitting process. The areas that I'm concerned about, and John, I know when we talked previously, is some of the monitoring of current detention and retention ponds. We indicated that at another meeting, and the other fear John and I have in regards to the report being comprehensive. is the fact that if we ever get audited, but I really feel that with John's assistance in regards to the information that was submitted previously, I think some of the information I can add to it would be more beneficial to the DNR. So my request is that the town board authorize the town clerk to begin the process of drafting that MS4 permitting process. In the event, if I think it's too difficult, I'll come back to you because that permit has to be all in place and filed by the 31st of March. And also in the DNR's webinar, there is help if you get stuck in areas. So it's not as difficult for us as it is for cities that have big sewage systems, comprehensive retention ponds in business parks. It's much easier than that, but that's what I would request at this point.
The upside to this, don't we save a significant amount of money by having you do it?
Well, just like the staff, my staff did the $5,000 to $6,000 stormwater.
The budget $5,000 to $6,000 for
The
them to do it.
engineer.
No, just for the tax bills. So we save that, and if I could do the reporting process, that's another $5,000 to $6,000.
Is there measurements required for retention ponds and stuff? What are they, when you say, talk about retention ponds and water?
They're supposed to, when a community has retention and detention ponds, and that's something John and I will do, when there's a stormwater event or a big significant event, there's monitoring done and documentation's done in the community of what's happening in those areas. John and I can produce something for the last 2 years of what's happened in our current retention and detention ponds, because knock on wood, they're working. As far as maintenance, John's trying to do as much as he can in regards to retention or detention ponds that have significant issues, but knock on wood, our retention and detention ponds, you know, that we have are working great. John does a tremendous job on, as you know, in the culverts he's suggesting to you to replace, to keep good flows in our roads, in our ditches. So
Okay.
I think you know, like I said, John has a substantial amount of information that he gathers for that report. So John, I would ask that, not John doesn't have to do it because he's swamped, but like I said, just the gathering of the information. And I gave that to John when he first came on, just so he was aware of what we need to do. And the other request is, I would ask the board that we would continue to lobby that because of our community, because of the type of development we do not have, that instead of a biannual, they let us do it every 3 years. Or the only difficulty in that is that whoever's the DPW director is retaining those records year after year after year. We're documenting year after year what we're putting in the newsletter, what we're putting on Channel 25, what the county's doing. And I also would enlist the assistance, as our previous engineer did. Alan Burrows does all our stormwater erosion control monitoring. That report we could get, I would get that from the county. So the stuff that's really sophisticated, the county does for many communities in Waukesha County.
Okay. Do you really think the DNR reads all that information and would know if something was wrong?
Well, you know,
All it is when something goes wrong, they got something to fall back on
It's
and
a,
pin somebody down.
it's a cover their butt.
John and I attended a stormwater review of the village of Waukesha, got audited from the EPA and DNR. Oh.
You break them over the coals?
You don't want to get audited, do you?
Want to play nice.
Never does.
Well, we met with the DNR last year. They were using us as guinea pigs to simplify the process, correct?
Yes,
Have they done that?
Yes.
They have.
I think they
That's
haven't.
part of what's coming out of this.
In
right?
fact, I would give to the board, I'm going to send you a link. It's now rebroadcasted. It doesn't have all the specifics, but you can see the changes. It's all done, a lot of it's all done online now. You don't have those, I mean, you have a printed report, but a lot of your reports are scanned in. It's all online.
Yeah. See this, the advantages of electronic.
But-
They're trying to sell a bill of goods to you, you know.
But the reason I'm asking is Stacy, our engineer from Foth, wants to
Wants to
know
know.
who's doing it.
Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion that we have Karen and John do the initial report and come back to the board if there's any problems or questions.
Just a quick question, John. What's the difference between a retention and a detention pond? I know what a retention pond, it holds water, but what's a detention
It
pond?
holds it for a small amount of, a specific amount of time based on the development and the
Okay.
stormwater needed.
Okay,
Go ask the guy with the clothing store down
How
on
many-
National Avenue there. He gets flooded every time.
Okay.
Do we have very few in the town?
Yeah, it's more than you think, actually, but
Over
problem
13.
is some of them are they're privately owned and some of them, we gotta monitor them, see what's
even the
going on.
privately owned ones?
Well, that's.
We have
the
to make
thing.
sure that they're
Yeah, you
functioning.
gotta inspect them, probably take a look at
And
them.
the
Okay.
huge one is in the Alice Miller subdivision. That thing is gigantic,
Yeah, that is.
huge.
I'll second the motion,
Okay.
Mr. Chair.
Good.
Any more
I
discussion?
think if we could save some money.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That still is, we have no sewer system, we have very little curbing there. I can understand the ponds, but the money that costs.
Yeah.
That's over $12,000 a year for all of that reporting and stuff
Yeah, we
like
can
that.
save.
To go through the engineers. If we can get our people to do it,
Yeah,
And those
that's a
are-
no-brainer to me.
no kidding. I agree.
I'm
Might have
thankful
to-
that the clerk and our
Really?
DPW director are willing to take that up.
Might be a point of contention when John's salary review comes up.
Well, John, just so you know, John's not doing
Who
the,
are
re-
you?
he's not gonna do the report, because when I said this to John, he's like, are you crazy?
I've
You
heard
know,
stories about.
yeah, I
that.
just want John, just so you know, John's gonna assist with the, just so you don't think he's gonna do the report.
No,
you know.
no, I understand.
Provide-
He's
provide
gotta
the
have a lot of
information.
input into it.
Yeah, there's a lot,
Such as same as last year?
Exactly. Ditto.
Who signs it?
the board, it comes to the board.
Let me rethink.
Okay, item G, review town or Vernon Fire Department equipment to determine replacement values on equipment. All right, this came about with the, we talked to the insurance company about, leasing an engine to the, Waterford, the village of Waterford. And she had mentioned that we should probably have a replacement cost on it. And she had, when we had talked to her over the phone, she had said somewhere it was under $200, but now this has gotten to, it's $71, correct, Madam Clerk?
Yeah.
Yes,
So, I think for $71 to up that insurance to a replacement cost for $650,000,
Yep,
I think it'll be well worth the $71.
yep.
And then I was thinking that we, as a town, may want to do that with the rest of the fire department equipment and our DPW equipment. We got the relatively all the fleet with the DPW, and with those guys out on the roads when they're icy and slippery and with traffic and all that stuff like that. Not saying our guys are gonna do anything, but they're, it's in a prime time for having an accident and maybe wiping one of those trucks out, God heaven forbid.
Yeah,
But then we gotta replace it,
yeah,
So
might be a good
I
idea.
thought we'd at least get a number,
Yeah,
Yeah, wouldn't hurt to get a number.
to get a number for replacement costs on it.
$71 to increase it almost 50%, 100%.
Can we draw a line though on anything 10 years and older?
Well, that's why we,
I mean, we got stuff out there, 1992, that brush vehicle. And the International, we've had that since I was a kid.
well, it's in her email to you, she says anything that's older than 10 years, you can't do that to.
You can't, right?
Yeah, it says right there, and I put that in your packet. So you're looking at newer equipment.
right,
Right, newer than 10. Good.
I would think that we let them give us the numbers and we'll pick and choose what we want.
That sounds like a plan.
We don't let them decide, we just let them tell us what they want,
Well, do we have to
what
give
they
them,
will do for us, and then we'll decide.
do we have to give them replacement value to use, or?
I don't understand.
Well, we have to say, like, the truck is worth 200,000 now, to replace it, we have to say, well, to replace it, it'd be a $350,000 truck, we have to give them that number,
Give who?
the insurance company.
In other words, do we over?
What's the replacement value, I mean, who's in insurance what the replacement value
The
is?
insurance company.
Was our insurance for replacement cost or Blue Book?
Alex gave her the number,
Replacement cost,
Alex
right?
gave her the 650,000.
He did?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying,
For-
we have to give them that number, so,
For a new truck.
Yeah.
For what a
So-
new truck would cost.
yeah,
Correct.
we have to give them those numbers, what that
Could you
vehicle would
put-
cost to
Could
replace.
you put out the cost of the replacement on the individual equipment,
Well, that's what
John?
I'm saying, if you wanna replace the one, the value we just bought, the truck we just bought was 168,000, so that, you would wanna compare that, I would think, to anything.
For
If
71
that's what you're gonna
bucks.
do,
We're wasting our time.
you know,
That's so inexpensive, we should just do it.
I would think, yeah, being,
To me, it's an
being
no-brainer.
a taxpayer, if a truck got wiped out and we didn't have replacement costs on it, and I found out it was only 71 bucks, I would come here and complain.
Yeah, I think you're
What's the
right.
matter with you guys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many trucks we got that we could be looking at, 5? No, that's the fire department.
We've got
equipment.
6.
Our trucks aren't listed, DPW trucks aren't.
Yeah, they
listed.
are.
Are they on there?
Yep,
Thought they were.
yep.
The
The
international.
bucket truck's on
Oh,
there.
dump trucks, yeah, you're right. But it doesn't have any replacement value on it.
Got the value on the
Because
side.
it's over 10 years old.
Yeah, that, they don't, that's where you'd see the
Yeah,
actual cash value.
okay. I
Carol,
think
is that the intent of the ACV to establish replacement costs for
No, that's always,
vehicles older than 10 years, I think they talked about tonight?
Yeah.
the AVC is something, that's always, that one is actual cash value. Like, just like John said, is they
Yeah.
just bought that truck, he's got a bill for 169,000, so they're not gonna insure it for 350.
No.
No, but what happens, say, in 3 years, it would cost 200,000 to replace.
Every year, this comes to the town for renewal.
Okay.
So if the board makes the decision that every year, which is a good thing, that you want to look at actual cash values, before this, you know, the renewal of the insurance is a huge process. But this line item sheet goes to the department heads to make sure that everything's right, the VIN numbers are right. Then it would come to the board to say, if you're gonna take that position of, you know, making that determination.
I
So
think I'd like to know what that price is every year. If it stays around the $70, $80.
it comes to you every year.
Worth updating, maybe not every year, maybe every,
Well, that
It comes-
$71
comes every year.
is
Just
just
for one
for
truck.
that truck.
That
That
new
one
one
that we're looking
that
at
one
moving over.
bumper.
That's part.
well, we gotta have that.
And my thoughts on it was, if it's only $71 on that, okay, we've got
Other trucks.
10 vehicles that we need to look at for replacement value on it, ranging from age from
Yeah.
5 to 7 years. And then once they hit the 10-year, we don't do it anymore.
Right.
There's only 13 of them that are gonna qualify. So,
No, I'm definitely in favor of giving a bid, I'm just questioning how they determine the actual replacement value.
I think you talk to the department, because that's what she's asking us for, is can you provide me with an agreed value? So you should send it to John and to Alex and have them,
review, yeah.
and bring it back to you then. And then if you don't agree with it, you can up it or lower it, or, because you're the final,
Well, the insurance company's only gonna insure it for so much anyway, you know, I mean, they're gonna say, why do you wanna insure a $100,000 truck for $400,000?
it's under $900.
Are you planning on crashing it?
The whole thing.
That's what I'm saying, if it's $71 a vehicle,
Yeah,
you just go by times 71 times 13.
$710.
Yep, $922.
Yeah.
Yeah, to me,
You gotta knock out the
$900 to
cheap.
save that type of money if
Cheap,
something happened.
And it
You know,
can happen.
insurance to me, you're betting something's gonna happen, and they're betting nothing's gonna happen.
Right.
So,
It's a gamble.
yes, it is.
And it's usually after something happens, you realize you should have better insurance.
Well, this is where we're trying to do a little bit proactive here.
I think it's a good idea.
Because I was really surprised at replacement value on that fire truck for $71. Wow,
Yeah.
maybe we should look at the rest of them.
Yep.
That's a good price.
How do we do this? Just put a,
Need a
put
motion?
it out there? To have some information produced?
Well, the agenda item is review town and Vernon Fire Department replacement values on the equipment. So we reviewed the list, and I would think the motion should state that this list should go to the 2 department heads, and then
On a yearly
bring it
basis.
back to us, and then we'll verify it, look at it, and then have a motion to approve spending the money on it.
It's going to the department, it's just to verify the
Yeah,
data.
that would be the motion, to send this list to the department heads. Matter of fact, I'll make that motion. Send this list to the department heads to verify the values,
Okay.
and then bring it back to the town
Well,
board.
and then send it to the insurance company for,
No, it'd come back to you. It's
Then
gotta
it
go
come
back.
to us, and we can review it, and then send it to the insurance company.
Yeah,
Okay,
like, you know.
So that's my motion.
right, right.
I'll second.
Any more discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Status of the ISO insurance rating for the town of Vernon. We left that on there. Ed, do you have any report on that?
Yeah, I made a call the other day, tried to chase something down, and I just sent an email later this afternoon, because I didn't get an email back from the group I was told to try out, the rep for Wisconsin, but Alex, talking to Alex yesterday in follow-up to last week. Last week, when I talked to him, he said, well, there is no meeting scheduled. I hadn't talked to anybody, and I said, well, we need to get that done. So he did make a call. We have a scheduled meeting with their appraiser on the 24th of this month at 2:30. If that all goes well, I'll be able to come back and report on what took place.
Excellent. It's January 24th?
January 24th. He said,
I had a question kind of pertaining to that. There's this notice of resolution we got. I don't even know what it's tied to, except it relates to,
that's a letter.
oh, is that what it is, a letter?
That's the letter that the insurance company sent this Jeff that came in and talked to us about.
Right, I see
And
his
if you read it,
name.
you see that he kind of exaggerated, because it doesn't say that we are the Big Bend Vernon Fire Department. It's talking about Big Bend up here. The only time it mentions Vernon is when the fire chief states the fire department is Vernon Fire Department versus Big Bend, and see the letter attached. Well, there's no letter attached, because Alex said he didn't keep it. It was a form letter, and he just sent it out to everybody,
So there's reference to Station 3 of it.
which would have been Big Bend.
So should that even be referred to?
No.
So
Let's see, that's,
how do we get it off the record?
well, we'll get it off the record when we talk to the ISO guy and explain to him that we have 3 zip codes, 3?
Six.
Five.
Six.
Five in
Six.
town.
McGuanago, how many have we? We got McGuanago,
Waukesha.
Big Bend, Waukesha,
I can show you the list later.
Muskego.
we have Muskego?
Two
Yeah.
Waukesha,
5 of them.
Yeah.
Waterford,
Yeah, Karen, for that meeting, I'd like to have a copy of that. If we got the 5 of them identified.
I can give you the map as soon as when the meeting's over.
Oh,
7 actually.
7?
Yeah.
Anybody free?
Two Waukesha alone.
Oh, I was gonna ask, is there more than one for McGuanago and Waukesha, because that's a big area.
Yeah, there's 8-8 for Waukesha and 8-9.
Okay.
And then we got
Well,
Waterford, 8-5.
I'll get that and have that for the walkthrough, okay?
All right, anybody have any more comments on item H? All right, thanks Ed for the report. Okay. Item I, agreement and buyout from Impact to replace current copy machines at the town of Vernon. Madam Clerk.
Currently, the vendor that we're utilizing right now, I had contacted them several times to see if they would open up the agreement to look at the cost overruns we have on a monthly basis, and they absolutely refused. So I spoke to several different vendors. The vendor before you is one that is highly recommended from other administrators and clerks in Waukesha County and Milwaukee County. And you can see by the initial meeting that I had with them, they do the buyout of the copiers we have here, take them out and deliver them back to Gordon Flesch, so we wouldn't have that expense. They buy out that contract and bring in their machines, and you can see the cost savings to the town is over $3,000. Subsequent to that, Alex indicated that he had to have a stapler on his machine, which increased the cost, almost $40 a month for a stapler.
Don't they have one of those little hand staplers or something?
I can't imagine that they do that much stapling. The issue was trying to save the town money, and he doesn't have a stapler now. This machine would mirror one of the machines that we have in the office. So if there would be an event, you have duplicate machines, which their customer service is absolutely outstanding. These machines are faster. The machine that they have at the fire department, I was never told about all the problems that they're having, but Alex said that they have problems scanning, faxing, printing. Some of the reports that the fire department has to scan in are pretty significant. It times out on them. He is very frustrated with the machine, that they currently have now, and this one is light years, compared to what they have.
If I can make a comment, I've talked to 3 or 4 people over there, and I've told them you can't leave that lid up when you're copying. It burns drum out. So it's kind of like the pump. You got to put experienced people that know how to run the equipment on it, and it won't break down as often. When we talked last week about the fuel pump issue and having to go over, John explained to me the reason that pump didn't work. One of their previous guys hit the emergency button on it, which means it won't pump until you pull that out. It wasn't frozen or anything. It was locked out. And if they knew how to just turn the button to release the pump, it would have been fine and running. I asked him because I wanted to know if there's anything specific in fuel the fire department needs. There isn't.
Well, I'm sorry, are we talking about the copiers or the fuel?
No, I'm talking about people using equipment right.
Oh, sorry, you lost me. So, I don't know, like I said, the price that I had initially, I was really pleased with, and then I did ask them to revise the contract based upon Alex needing a stapler, which instead of the $639.99, it went to $677.55, so it's an increase of $37.56
A month.
a month, yeah.
I don't think they need a stapler. I don't either. We could buy an electric one.
And like I said, this machine
A lot cheaper.
they have a Lexmark, a tabletop Lexmark. This machine, I don't know what their procedures are, but they Impact Bolt, when they deliver that machine and pick the other one up, they'll do a training based on who's ever there at the time.
Yeah, that's part of the problem. Whoever's used doesn't ever.
And the other thing we can do too is we can laminate a usage, indicating, what they need to do
Yeah.
to keep that equipment. If they do burn out the drum, the nice thing is it's replaced and it's under contract. Toners, drums, all those things are all under contract. The only thing that doesn't pay for is the actual staples.
What do these machines just cost to own if you were to purchase them outright?
Thousands, like,
Well, we're spending thousands in the lease. What's the?
if you want, I can look. I've never looked to purchase them, because usually if you purchase them, the technology is much faster.
Every few years and replacing them, but.
Yeah, and this is only a 5-year contract.
Most of the time, if you do the addition between the two, I did it in business. If you purchase it, then you gotta pay for the service contract if you want it. And when you add the service contract in, you're just the same price as running it and getting the service contract.
Better off getting
Right.
service.
There's not a lot of savings.
Well, that's, yeah,
Well,
this,
just the toner is expensive.
Well, you can write it off, but what's a copy machine?
and that is nice, because developers, toners, drums, that all comes into play depending on the age of the equipment.
Yeah. I'd like to make the suggestion that he doesn't need a stapler, and that we should get we've got 2 variations if we stick with the same machine here and there, and you need a bigger volume. So why, for a stapler, put 40 bucks a month in? I came with a stapler idea originally because I thought it was missed. We used to have a stapler here
We still do,
in the machine.
on the big machine, yeah. And this one has it too.
It will, the big one will.
Yes,
So if you need some staples, you're gonna run volumes, you can come over here and do it.
Right.
Charge it back.
yep,
But yeah, I don't see having 3 different varieties of machine, because 2 is always better as far as maintenance and spare parts and replacement. I'd rather see only 2 variations of it myself, and say no to that extra stapler and 40 bucks a month.
Yeah. The only thing I find it hard to believe that they will take a buyout for over $5,000. How would they make money at buying out that kind of?
It's like the cell phone companies, they'll buy out your
Or
contract.
cable
So, yeah.
cable companies are good for doing that too. They'll pop for your buyout. But I don't know how they make this.
They'll probably get
That's
something
a
back
big
for it.
chunk of change for them.
well, and they were there was a couple other vendors that talked about doing the buyout also, but this one was, buy it completely out, pick up the machine, that's a big thing too.
Yeah.
Pick up the machines, deliver it back to
them.
Gordon Flesh, doing the notification.
We could-
All right, is there a motion?
What was the question?
Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to, how do you want to word this? I'd like to make the motion to make 2 of the non-staplers and your big one.
So it would be, your motion would reflect the original contract, and the original agreement that was brought forth to the board.
Prior to the stapler being requested by the fire department.
I wouldn't even say that. The original agreement states that, and you're also approving, you're authorizing the chairman to sign that agreement, sign the buyout agreement.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. Thank you.
I'll second it.
Any more discussion?
No, sir.
Nope.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
I think it's really impressive at the very top of their contract. This agreement has been written in plain English. That's how they started
No
out.
legalese.
I didn't read the whole contract.
No
See if
legalese.
that's
So you're
true.
gonna go over
It is
the
actually-
Maybe we could
Yes.
easy to add that to his.
Okay.
sometime.
Yeah.
He'd have to start with, it's my opinion.
And they
I'll have it
to
ready,
cover that, it's
I'll have everything
true.
ready in just a
Come in
smidge.
tomorrow, you're-
I'll have it ready tonight.
Yeah, okay. All right, correspondence. I have nothing.
I have no correspondence or announcements either.
Gary?
The only thing under reports or correspondence is, because of that article that was in the Freeman that you showed us this evening, I had a couple of phone calls and people were concerned regarding, I'm going to be taken into McGuanago against my will. And I had explained to them, this was all tentative, we have not made any decisions with McGuanago, and I said, if and when that does occur, you will have ample opportunity to understand what we're about to do or what we want to do, and you also have the option, you're not going to be annexed against your will. So after I got done explaining it to them, they were a lot more at ease in regard to the situation. So that's what sometimes the newspaper does not make it extremely clear as to what's going on, and people get concerned, But other than that, that's all I had. Oh, public health and safety, if the board doesn't have anything for the public health and safety, I would like to go on a hiatus until such a time as the board makes a determination as that they have some information that they want the committee to pursue.
Okay. Yep.
I had one call, and that was about Waukesha. As I mentioned earlier, word seems to be out, there's some discussion going on. So, this is coming out of the clear blue sky. I'd like to make a request if there's anything coming up for the ordinance committee, somebody lets me know, because as far as I know, our board is clean at this point in time. So, and that's all I have, quick and easy.
All right, good.
No, I
Bill?
have nothing right now.
John?
I'd just like to say one thing. I just saw the news tonight about a snowmobiler that got killed on river last night, and not here, but up in Fredonia. Just to, everybody be careful, because there's a lot of people on the river right now, because there's no place else to ride snowmobiles, so I know there's a lot of that going on. So I just want to throw it out there just to let everybody know to be careful out there, so. And if you want my report right away?
Sure.
We had 13 snow events so far this season, and we're down about 100 tons of salt from what we used last year. The new truck that we have, the pre-salt, pre-wet system, we've got it kind of dialed in now. Took a little bit of trial and error to get it figured out, but that truck alone, we're saving about 20% on going every run, between 8 tons down to 6 tons per run. So we're, in the long run, you know, it's gonna pay itself off, you know, for that pre-wet system. And we did order the anti-icing, the tank and stuff, to be able to go out and anti-ice ahead of time. That is ordered. It's gonna be 4 weeks out, because they were really behind right now with their inventory. I had Andy from Foth, I had him begin putting together the road program, so we can get that out for bids. So you guys are aware of that. And as far as that culvert issue from the county, I sent him something the week before, week and a half before Christmas. I know he said he was gonna be out for the holidays, and if I don't hear from him right away, just be patient, and I still have not heard from him regarding any kind of funding from them. I sent them all the information, what the prices were and everything, and what we're planning on doing there. And he was gonna talk it over with the county and see what they could do for us. So, still waiting for an answer on that, so.
She has to follow up on that. He just got back from vacation, so he's probably smart.
I believe
Put
it.
your name to the head of the list if you
Yeah.
want, and people call.
Yeah, so I actually got his voicemail. I tried calling one day and said he was on vacation, so.
All right, Madam Clerk.
Just quick updates. Don Dittmer from Waukesha County came out. We discussed the GIS implementation. My staff is being passworded into the county system. We're reformatting a lot of the things that we already have digitalized. So as that progresses, I'll give you reports on that, but we are proceeding on that process. I apologize for the phones not working this past week. They're working now. The new phone system was implemented in today. This little system here is going to be your phone that you're going to use for board of review or conference calls. It's going to sit on the chairman's desk, and it has 4 microphones that picks up throughout the room. And the fire department's phones are going in tomorrow.
What did you think of them?
Oh my God.
Big difference?
They're light years compared. We'll never have to buy another phone system again. That's how advanced these are compared to.
There's no number changes or anything affected, right?
No, but
Everything stays the same.
right, it does so much more than, I mean, you can get your phone messages on your iPhone, your computer, people can leave voice messages to your emails.
Transfer your phone onto if you have to leave the office, you can transfer it onto your cell phone and walk out the door.
Yep, and take that call with you, so
Pretty impressive.
they're tied right in there. It's very
Do
sophisticated.
each of the offices have their own individual, when you call the main number, can it be transferred over to,
Yep,
like to John or to Vince
Yep,
or something?
Vince, Mike, everybody's got a voicemail.
Okay.
And if the board needs one, if the board members want one, but you typically we take those messages. So I just want to let you know what's happening there. The other thing is, in your packet, I did put the Citizens Bank security report, and you can see Citizens Bank fully funds all of the towns, the 8 million, 9 million that was in the account, fully secure, and all that interest, the last was almost $3,000 worth of interest we received. And And I just wanted to also state that we do have the primary coming up in November, which is, February 20th. It's very sad, there's three people on a Supreme Court race. It's gonna be a very slow race. Our local races in the town of Vernon, we do not have a primary, congratulations again, Supervisor Millies and Supervisor Moline. Rough fight. And other than that, I just wanted to say I have a letter that I got from the veterans from all the donations from the town of Vernon. I'm going to copy all you, but I'd like to put it in the next newsletter. And those watching how they reacted to those vets were so appreciative. So once again, thank the board and thank the residents for all their support. That's a great effort. And that's it, Mr. Chairman.
All right, thank you. So you said the phones are up and running now?
Yes, they are.
If I call here, I can get somebody?
Yes, you get that. Oh, not now, because it's on night mode.
Oh, I mean, but during the day?
Oh, yes, now you will.
Okay.
It's been real quiet.
Yeah, we all
They were
said,
closed.
nobody's complaining.
Got no complaints last week.
Yeah, we must be doing great.
Yeah.
All right. Finance, item 11. Accounts payable, item 8.
Mr. Chairman, I just wanted to apologize to the board. In December and January, accounts payable, because we're on an accrual basis and the auditor is very specific that when an invoice comes in, it's coded to that month. So forgive me for missing the last 7 in 2018. I was concentrating so hard to get all the 2017 invoices, and then Supervisor Moline said, Karen, I can't find these checks. So that's why you got the subsequent. But we should be on a roll now.
Just a curiosity, Karen, some of those refund checks that came back, do the people own multiple properties? Because the checks were so large, like $18,000. No, on some of the checks, where they paid to the town of Vernon.
That's very typical. Depending on the mortgage, some of those mortgage companies are paying 15, 20, 30 properties at a time.
Oh.
So that's why they're so big.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was curious at that point.
I think Lorene said one of the checks she gets is over $500,000. And you just bank the property owners into...
You have any idea why all of a sudden on the treasurer's two times, bank every day, twice a day, double mileage?
When she's collecting taxes, she's going to the bank multiple times, not only to make her deposit, she's watching what's happening at the bank, because the bank is also taking the deposits. So it's...
But she's going to Citizens, same bank, right?
Yes.
So at the end of the day, she can't go over there and make deposits?
You'd have to ask her.
Okay.
I'm not the treasurer.
I asked that before, and there was questions about the post office and the bank, and, okay. I have one main question before we wrap the check register and the APs up. There was the discussion with the fire department on clothing.
Yeah.
I saw that, big bucks going into clothing all of a sudden. And the question was, we got people getting 2 sets.
Yeah.
John Kabaki for one, unless he was buying it for somebody else and putting it under his name, it came in as John Kabaki with 2 pair of pants, 2 jackets, all the labels and everything. Do we have a policy for the fire department for clothing? Do we know?
I don't.
If not, we talked about this for DPW. I think if we're gonna pay for people's clothing, like we do for work boots, for DPW people, safety jackets, whatever they need, it should be listed someplace. And then, the second question is, Kabaki came back and said, well, we buy some of this out of their budget. I mean, is their budget there to buy clothing? Is that a separate item? How do we want to manage that? Kind of double dipping there. Is there a clothing line item in the budget? Let me ask you that.
I don't have, yes, protective clothing, yes,
there is.
it's approximately
Protective clothing.
20, it's over
Protective clothing.
20,000.
Right. And there's a difference between protective clothing and dress uniforms.
Right.
That have all the decals and everything on
Do
it.
you want that as a?
I'd like that as a staff meeting item.
Yeah.
Okay. Because this is, we're talking about checks here.
Yeah,
This is finance now, this is not that, but we.
Karen, I'm almost positive I read something on a policy for the DPW way back when we looked at that, and we wanted to make sure they got boots or whatever they needed, and the boots were in there. But I don't know what else is covered for this stuff. If it's not there at staff, we should put a policy together.
I came down and talked to Karen, because I was concerned about one bill from Jefferson Fire for $5,600 for clothing.
Yeah.
And I was trying to figure out what in the world they bought, you know, and they're only listed 3 individuals, you know. So I
think we
was
need to
hoping
clear
the
that up.
chief would be here tonight, because I wanted to ask him about that. You know, what in the world is $5,600 coming out of your budget for clothing?
We need to get a handle on that.
Yeah. And the other one,
Kind of dress gear, you know.
and the other ones I was upset about was the past due notices from
Well, here we
from
go
2
again.
different vendors from July.
One of them was a college, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Training for the college. WCPC, like 4 invoices?
Yeah.
That hasn't changed, I guess. Are there any other, Bill?
Well, kind of along the same line, Karen answered a lot of mine earlier today, but there was one out here, Karen, that kind of along the line of what Ed's talking about. If I were you, just on a store receipt, someone authorized paying him $125 boot replacement, instead of having it on an actual invoice like we normally do. So, yeah, this thing's going all over the map, as I see.
That's how normally when a boot replacement is done, the employee brings in their receipt.
It's through the public works, yes,
Yeah.
so they buy the boots and they bring the receipt in.
Well, the boot,
He only gets 100 though.
the amount's
It's
$125, but there's no item on this receipt showing $125.
No,
Because
the
the
boots
boots
were
were
more
more.
than that, but he's only getting reimbursed 125 of it.
Oh, it's 120, I thought it was 100.
$149 for the
Yeah,
boots.
the total boot
Was
cost was
$149.
more than that, but he's only getting his allowance
I
of
saw that.
125.
And that's the maximum.
Yeah, because he's only allowed 125.
Okay, I understand that, but
The
we've
boots
got
and I-
everything, flannel plaid tunic
That he
top,
paid for it himself.
$749, flannel plaid.
That's his
tunic
personal
pant,
items bill.
$7. So where is the $125
On the
going
bottom.
against?
What he's saying though is there's no boots.
The boots should be on.
It's there.
There's no offsetting,
Bill, the boot's not $125, look for
Circle it.
$149 boot. And it's the last item on that bill.
Right there. 149.
men's, oh, okay.
It's like,
I apologize, okay. But
You're grounding
ordinarily, we
your
don't just have a
grounded.
receipt.
Yeah, yes, Bill, we always,
Got an invoice.
So we've
no.
always done it for,
That's all we get.
yeah. You go buy the boots, you get a receipt, that's all we can, I mean, that's all we always turned in.
the only place I've seen that does is Red Wings.
Yeah.
They actually, but you're paying I know, you pay $300 for
Yes,
those, not that I get them,
Yeah,
but.
actually, to get a good pair of boots for $125 is pretty much impossible. because-
Exactly, and that's,
And we should all consider upping those limits if we're gonna be expecting the guys.
typical pair of boots is at least
have to-
150 for,
You have to have steel toes?
Yeah.
You require steel toes?
yes.
safety.
Then it's expensive.
Well, actually, steel toes not that much more than non-steel toes, just the quality of boots,
Oh.
it's
Right.
expensive nowadays.
We make that a staff item discussion?
Oh, you should see this,
No-brainer.
see the staff agenda so far.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, we wouldn't be able to get done.
We'll save it for another staff.
Finance, anything more?
Well, if nobody's got anything else, I'll make a motion to approve the APs batch 2018-0118, the amount of $160,378.43.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any more discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Manual checks.
It's also on the back of your pink copy. is the updated manual checks with the additional 9,000.
Yeah.
And the reason it's $5 million is my raises in there.
Well, you're gonna get calls tomorrow.
What's
How's your phone
You
work?
gotta test that phone out, huh?
What was that, Karen?
She said
Oh,
that's
never
her
mind.
raise.
Oh.
$5 million.
She's going to Argentina.
Oh! Take me along.
Where are we having lunch?
I can just stand up. I'll go to Switzerland.
No, obviously that's the settlement checks for our wonderful school districts in Waukesha County and WCDC and
These are yearlies, right? I mean, we do this
Yeah.
every year.
Yeah.
you'll have one in August too. There's always
I'll make a
one.
motion to approve the manual checks in the amount of $5,815,595.04.
805. Did you see 15?
5 million. 805. 815 I got. You got 805?
Yeah.
Oh, you're looking, no. That's the old one.
Okay.
This is, she corrected.
You got enough to read. Okay.
Correct number?
Yeah, that's correct,
Okay.
Supervisor Moline.
Any more discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. ACH transactions? Just want to, comment on, daily balances here. 12/1 is $757,327 in the checking accounts, and as 12/31, we got $8,044,191. So people are proceeding to pay their taxes. Our balances is going to be less than that, but we are good with our checking account. Always in November, December, I always like to watch that to make sure that we have
Adequate money.
adequate money to pay our
Pay the bills. Put it on a
Trying to let
strong
the public know what that is going on with that.
Have you write $5 million?
Yeah, after I say $5 million, they might like an explanation.
Any comments on the ACH?
Need a motion, Chairman?
Approving the ACH.
Okay, make a motion to approve the ACH for December in the amount of $90,570.42.
And I'll second that.
Any more discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Minutes, January 4th, 2018.
Board members, there's just a few changes in the first paragraph of the, that are highlighted in front of you in the public comments, just to clarify the public comment discussion.
I just had a question on page 2, third paragraph, fourth paragraph down. Supervisor Ed Lee, McGonigal paper, Narcan, read an article. Did I miss something at that?
No, it should be,
I read an article out of the Waukesha.
Yeah, Chief, about Narcan.
Oh, out of the chief? Oh, okay.
I know I read a little funny, I knew.
I know staff read, listened to the, and this is what it's saying, and I can put it, I can if you want me to put that, he read an article from the McGonigal paper about Narcan.
That'd make a little better reading.
Okay.
That is, town board got Narcan.
And pass Narcan on to
They're
Gary.
using it.
I thought I missed the new conservative paper thought.
No. I don't think so. If there's nothing else, I'll make a motion to approve the minutes for January 4th, 2018 with with the corrections as listed.
I'll second.
Any more discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Next meeting date will be town board, February 1st. Already coming along here. Public comments, are there any public comments? Any public comments? Record show there are public comments. There are public here though.
Hey!
Oh.
Item 50, motion to go into closed session. Consideration and possible action on motion to convene into executive session under Wisconsin State Stat 19.85, Pren 1, Pren E, deliberating of negotiations for the award of purchase of public properties, the investment of public funds, or conducting other specified public business whenever competitive or bargaining reasons require a closed session, more specifically, board meeting with the village of McGonigal and cooperative bargaining agreements with communities bordering the town of Vernon. Included in closed session will be the town of Vernon supervisor, DPW director, and the town clerk. Motion requires a roll call vote. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Chairman Thomas Byrd,
Yes.
Supervisor Jeff Millies,
Yes.
Supervisor Gary Wildy,
Yes.
Supervisor Ed Moline,
Yes.
Supervisor Bill Craig. Mr. Chairman, I'll note for the record that the town board voted unanimously to move into closed session at
7:20.